Hello traders, welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris from Elite Currency, and of course going to take a look at the charts. Before we do that though, wanted to let you know that we have free indicators on this website here page. For instance, the free version of Wiz, the free version of Camarilla, all of that you can find here and many more. Alrighty, let's start with the weekly candle here. We did close pretty close to the high. Obviously a big wick at the bottom and a bullish candle, so bulls in the week of the ECB kept control throughout that week. At the end of the week, they were rallying from a double bottom here at 109.25. So that ABC pattern that we talked about in a couple of videos here before seems to be taking place. And based on last week's weekly candle, I think a break of last week's high is likely. I don't think it has to go too far necessarily. The trend is still down. I think that anywhere in around 111.80, this zone here is a strong resistance zone, with a lot of previous bottoms in place and previous highs as well. So that could be a retracement spot for more downside. Looking at this trend channel right here, I think that if it pushes higher, it is likely to be a bouncing spot for a downtrend continuation back at the previous bottoms. You can see here another couple of bottoms here and here and here, all of that strong resistance. The downtrend was very slow and choppy in the past. This part specifically, and this part, all of that looking very corrective. The pace to the downside has increased. So I do think that more downside, a downtrend continuation towards 108, 107.50 is likely, as long as price stays basically below 112.50. 112.50, the previous top here of the daily chart. So all of that is strong resistance, and I do think a break of last week's high is likely for that ABC pattern. But when it runs into that massive area of resistance, I think a bounce is likely for a move lower down to this target. If it does break above 112.50, then that would change perspectives and maybe a bigger bullish correction is likely. So I'm looking for bearish candlestick patterns in this zone for a move down to 108 for the moment. I think that's a pretty good space and an interesting potential there. That's on the weekly chart. The monthly chart, of course, nothing new. It's mid-September. Daily chart, this is that ECB candle, huge reversal candle, and we already had a break of the high of that candle. But I think more upside is for the moment likely, and this is probably some ABC pattern. That's what it could be finished. In theory, the ABC pattern could be completed already. The minimum kind of ABC pattern has already taken place. So if price does show a lot of momentum to the downside, then the ABC could be finished already. I don't think it is finished, but it could be. So if there's a lot of momentum falling here and then there's a flag, I wouldn't ignore the sell upon the break of the bear flag. That's what I want to mean. That's what I want to say. But if it falls correctively, let's say slowly and choppily like that, or if it falls and there's a closing reverse like that and then the bull flag, all of that is leaning towards more upside still. So back to lower time frames here. So for the moment, we see prices moving lower and a flag. So if it breaks below the 20 EMA, there could be another kind of continuation lower with the ABC pattern like that. So the target and bouncing spot that I'm keeping an eye on is 110.50 and 110.30. Those would be likely spots for continuation of a wave C, if it is a wave, logical continuation of the wave, bullish wave C, after this small bearish wave C is completed, let me say it this way. If it does break through 110 with a lot of momentum, that's the moment when I will be a bit worried for the upside, and then maybe the ABC is already completed. So for the moment, once again, just to recap, downside is part of a bearish ABC likely, expecting a bounce in this zone, looking for bullish candlestick patterns for one more leg up, one more swing up as part of a wave C, and then expecting a bounce up in here, bearish candlestick patterns for a downtrend continuation. If it does push through 110 with a lot of momentum and then the flag, that's when I would also be considering a downside, because in that case, this ABC zigzag that I mentioned in the past videos as well is probably completed. All right, that's it for the euro dollar, pound dollar. Another bullish candle above the 21 EMA. And as you can see, the second break above the 20 EMA really showing a lot of momentum and a lot of impulsiveness. And price is pushing higher very strongly, and it's getting close to the 144 EMA, around 125.50. That's for the moment the main target. I'm not sure if this is an ABC like this or if this is just part of wave A. In any case, it looks like a strong retracement at this moment. Now, the downtrend is still in play. So I do think that eventually this upside will finish, hit some kind of resistance zone, and then turn back down again. So for the moment, there are a lot of resistance levels scattered throughout here around these areas, for instance. So those could be levels where price then hits resistance and then goes back down again. So looking at the 4-hour chart, I think that this could be a wave A, down for B, and up for a wave C, for maybe a bigger wave 4. More importantly, on the weekly chart, we see a very strong candle too, by the way, 2 candles in a row. So for the moment, the break of that last week's high is also likely. But I wanted to say actually is on the 4-hour chart, this looks like a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe better seen on the 1-hour chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think one more push up as part of wave 5 of wave A is likely. So I'll put a fib from here to here. There we go. And I'm looking for a bounce at the 38.2 fib, 50 fib for the end of wave 4. This being 1, 2, 3, down for 4 and up for 5. And the target, the minus 272 target, nicely coming in here at 125.50. So 125.50 I think is the main target of this wave 5. As long as it stays above the 38.50, you can see the price is making a retracement at the moment. As long as it stays above the 38.50, I think it is likely to be a bouncing spot, looking for bullish candlestick patterns in this zone. Even the 61.8, although it's less likely and less used. The 78.6 fib could theoretically be possible, but anything below that means that price is breaking below the top of wave 1, and then it's not likely, not anymore wave 4 in that case. Okay, so that would be the kind of the key invalidation level of this wave 4. 123.65, if it pushes below that, that invalidates this wave 4, and therefore a different wave count is more likely. All right, so this last push up, wave 5, is probably also a wave 5 of a higher degree, like this. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that could finish the wave 5 of 5. And as I said already on the daily chart, here we go. This is most likely wave A, down for B, up for C to complete a bigger ABC of a bearish wave 4. All right, so in this area, after price hits 125.50, I'm expecting a dip down as part of the wave B, then up towards these levels for wave C, and then down again as the downtrend continues. That's what I'm expecting for the moment. And last but not least, looking at the 4-hour chart, I think this is a very strong dominant candle for the moment. So I think if it goes back into that zone, I think that buyers will step in. So I do expect a bounce in this 124, 124.35 area. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for joining. We'll be, of course, back with more videos with Elite Currency, Nennet and I. So subscribe to our, of course, Elite Currency YouTube channel to get more updates on that. Tonight, Nennet with his recap, and I'll do another video, of course, later this week on the euro dollar and pound dollar. Wish you all good trading. Cheers.